Today on Live from Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast.
I don't know. Fly casual.
The Force is strong in my family.
From a certain point of view.
He's my father.
Your father? Dad went to 7-Eleven to get scratchers.
Hey, it's me.
And then you got 2% that want me to sit on their feet.
It's a trap!
And welcome back, troopers, to Live from Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, TJ, and any day you watch Star Wars is a good day. This episode, we celebrate the 40th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, released on this day 40 years ago. Although not my favorite of the original Star Wars films, there's plenty to enjoy. The rescue of Han Solo, an epic space battle to free the galaxy from the clutches of the Empire, the redemption of Darth Vader, and Luke Skywalker coming of age as a fully fledged Jedi Knight. So how do you like Return of the Jedi? Was the battle over Endor to destroy the Death Star 2 an epic finale? Or was it lazy writing because they couldn't think of anywhere else to go? Did the special edition edits kick it up a notch for you? Or did they completely ruin the movie? These insights and more on today's episode. So open the back door and build yourself a new lightsaber as we dive into Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Up first today is Richard Mancock from Gilbertsville, New York. Thank you for joining us today, Richard, to talk about Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
Glad to be here. Call me Dick.
Okay, welcome, Dick. So what are your thoughts on Return of the Jedi?
I like it fine, but I think my dad kind of ruined it for me.
Oh, really? In what way?
Well, he was in the Army, and we were overseas in the early 80s. When Jedi came out, we had to wait a good long while before it came to the Post Theater over there. One afternoon, he came home with a VHS tape. You know what one of those is, right, TJ?
Yes, I'm well aware of VHSs and VCRs. I'm pretty old despite the youthful timbre of my voice.
I didn't understand anything you said after VCR. So anyway, he came home one day with a bootleg VHS copy of Jedi. I have no idea where he got it. Of course, I was excited at first. I was 10, but it really spoiled the experience seeing it for the first time in the theater. It was missing bits here and there. The sound was terrible. Then he went out for scratches and never came home.
I guess he won because that was 6 years ago.
Oh goodness, that's terrible. Sorry to hear about that.
It's okay. He took me to see Alien when I was only 6 years old.
He took you to see Alien when you were 6?
I still have nightmares about it.
Okay. So what are your thoughts today on Return of the Jedi?
I have issues with some of the special edition changes they made in the late 1900s.
Yes, in the late 90s. I hear you. I think we all do.
I don't like how they made the Sarlacc look like the Ahch-To plant monster from Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, I agree. It's a little distracting.
I'd say more than a little.
Feed me!
Before it was a gaping mouth hole in the desert that you fell into. That was scary as Now,
Yes, I agree. It doesn't really add anything.
Now Princess Leia in that slave girl bikini. Wow.
Yes, Carrie Fisher was an attractive lady.
Attractive lady? I bet she could suck the chrome off a trailer hitch. I discovered my manhood that day. Her stunt double, too. Wow.
Her stunt double?
Yeah, Carrie had a birthmark on her right side that mysteriously disappears when it's a stunt double.
Oh, really? I never noticed that.
She had a nice can, too.
Yes, I'm sure she did.
I saw with a lady once that had a birthmark like that on the back of her left tricep. She had a lot of weird, thick, dark hairs growing out of it.
And thank you, Dick, for calling in today to talk about Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Great to hear from you. And up next, we have Dillard Belk from Chugwater, Wyoming. Thank you so much, Dillard, for calling in today to talk about Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
Hi, TJ. Great to finally be on the show.
Of course, Dillard. Thanks so much for joining us today. So who's your favorite character from Return of the Jedi?
Oh, my favorite? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of them. What's his name that was Lando's co-pilot on the Millennium Falcon in the space battle, maybe? What was his name? The mousy-looking fella with the big eyes? Mein Kampf?
That was Neen Num from Sullust, where the Rebel fleet was gathering before the final battle. That other name is something else.
Yeah, he was cool. Oh, and I like Wedge.
Yes, Wedge Antilles, a huge fan favorite.
Yeah, whenever I eat a wedge salad, I think of Wedge.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts about the original versus the special edition?
I don't like how they changed Han's line when he saved Lando from the Sarlacc. Originally, he said,
It's all right. Trust me.
now he says,
It's all right. I can see a lot better.
Wow, nice catch. I hadn't noticed that before.
they turned a badass Han Solo moment into a joke.
Yes, another example from the special editions of fixing something that wasn't broken.
I left my Star Destroyer to prepare for my arrival.
I just watched Jedi in the theater a few weeks ago for the anniversary, and that stood out to me. Did you go watch that, TJ?
No. I unfortunately missed it in the theaters. I thought the re-release would last longer, at least until today. You know, the actual anniversary. That's okay, though. Did you notice anything else?
All the Imperial officers are wearing the same rank badge.
What, really?
Yeah, in Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, they wore different badges for their ranks, like the Admiral or Captain or Muff or whatever.
Right, that I'm aware of.
In Jedi, they all wear 3 red on top, 3 blue on the bottom. According to the internet, that's a commander. They're all commanders now, just like that renamed Washington football team.
Wow, that's amazing. I've never noticed that before.
It's really obvious on the big screen. Yeah, even Admiral Piehole's wearing the commander rank. In Empire, Piehole went from wearing his lower rank to the Admiral rank after Darth Vader summarily promoted him after dropping Admiral Ozzy Wetborn like a weird sack of shit.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I'm never going to be able to unsee that now. It's Admirals Piet and Ozzel, by the way.
It's lazy is what it is.
Yes, that is an unfortunate attention to detail that was lost on the filmmakers there. Dillard, do you have any final thoughts on Star Wars Return of the Jedi?
I still have my old Return of the Jedi lunchbox when I was a youngster. It is one of my oldest possessions.
Oh, that is very cool. Do you still use it?
Oh, yes, I keep my limited edition Mandalorian fish crackers in it.
Oh, I've heard about those. They leave cheese dust on your fingertips, right?
They do what now?
Never mind. So any final thoughts about the actual movie?
Oh, yeah, Leia in the slave bikini. Hoo-wee.
Yes, that is very popular.
Dang, you know it. You could count me and Katie Sackhoff's 2% for Carrie Fisher, too.
Katie Sackhoff's 2%?
Yeah, Katie said that 2% of her Star Wars fans want her to shit on their face.
And thank you, Dillard, for calling in today to talk about Return of the Jedi, wedge salads, and Katie Sackhoff. Great to hear from you. And up next, we welcome back Duke Dryhumper from Planada, California. Welcome back, Duke.
Placencia, California. And it's Lark. Lark Licklucker.
Right. So sorry, Lark. I keep forgetting. How are things on Dantooine today?
Spectacular. I just received some new product from the PAX they call Living the Dream, which apparently allows you to see through space and time.
Oh, really? Living the dream?
Yes, because nightmares are dreams, too. This stuff will fuck you up. I haven't tried it myself. I need to keep my wits about me.
Yes. I bet you do.
I also booked a Max Rebo band tribute performing as the original pre-special edition lineup. They're going to play that Laptane Nick Fancy Man song sung by Cy Snoodles. I'm super stoked.
Wow, that sounds cool. I've always liked that original song better than the one in the special edition.
Yeah, that special edition Jedi rock song is hot garbage baking in Tatooine's twin suns, and totally doesn't match up with the tone of the scene.
Yes. Well, here we are. Return of the Jedi.
I f***ing love this movie. This is Luke Skywalker's movie. Even though he only has 34 minutes and 15 seconds of screen time, that's still twice as much as Han Solo, though.
Wow, Han Solo has less than 20 minutes of screen time?
And it was originally called Revenge of the Jedi, which is a sick f***ing title.
Yes, that I knew.
I have an early vintage Revenge teaser poster hanging up front and center behind the main bar in the Spice joint.
Oh, that's cool. I bet that's worth a lot.
Then Lucas decided at the last minute the Jedi don't take revenge. They return. And not the Amazon Prime Whole Foods kind of return.
Well, I knew you would have high praise for it. So what stands out to you in this episode of the saga?
I love Luke dressed in black force choking the out of those green eggs and ham guards that tried to deny him entry into Jabba's palace. That's a total Vader dark side move. Luke is playing it on the edge. I love it.
Yes, he does seem to be crossing a line there.
This should have been the rescue plan from the get-go. Luke shows up, cuts everyone to pieces, and walks out the front door with Han. Done.
Yes, that would have made a lot more sense.
I do love the rescue scene, though, with Luke swinging his new green lightsaber in all its glory.
Yes, the build-up and tension there is really well done.
Originally, his lightsaber was going to be blue, but they felt the effect would be hard to see against the Tatooine sky, so they made it green, and the rest is Skywalker history.
Wow, excellent fun fact.
I did not know that.
There's also a moment when Luke is kicking a skiff guard in the face when Boba Fett is doing his Rocket Man impression behind him.
Yes, I remember that part.
Fanboy incels scoff at it because Luke clearly misses the dude's face by about a foot, but the guard reacts anyway. That's because Luke used the f***ing Force to execute a Force kick.
Oh, really? I haven't noticed that before. I'll need to pay closer attention. Do you have any final thoughts today about Return of the Jedi?
Yeah. When Yoda tells Luke there is another Skywalker, I imagine he really says there is another Licklucker. And he's talking about me, Lark. his long-lost half-brother.
Half-brother?
Yes, Anakin Skywalker was living a double life, and it was a regular client of my mother that worked in that house of ill repute on Morlata 1 where Andor went looking for his sister.
And thank you, Duke, for calling in today.
There's Lark. Lark Lover.
Yes, Lark, thank you.
If you look closely, you can see Luke's Jedi unibrow glisten in the Tatooine sunlight.
Yes, thank you for calling in, Duke. Lark, great to hear from you. And finally, we have Warren Fishfrog. Fishfrog?
You want a fish frog?
From the Institute of Moving Picture Arts and Sciences House of Editry Department to critically discuss some of the editorial mistakes and continuity errors found throughout the movie. Warren, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for the opportunity. We call it the delirium, and it is pronounced Fishfrog, and it is a film, movies for children.
Okay. So what observations do you have on Star Wars Return of the Jedi?
It looks as if it were made by first-year film students.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, the overuse of paint-by-number made paintings versus practical set pieces and models is obvious and quite distracting.
I agree. Some of those painted backgrounds do not look as good as sets. So what else have you noticed?
The delirium has on record several instances of frame reversal in the film that is particularly distracting. For example, in the scene where the princess cosplays as a bounty hunter, Boba Fett is reversed after the princess reveals a grenade. Boba Fett's helmet is reversed and he brandishes his blaster with his left hand.
Wow, I totally never noticed that before.
Also, on the selvage, when Jabba pulls at the princess' chain while she is enjoying the breeze from an open window while pondering the fate of her companions, Jabba is holding a goblet in his left hand and pulling her chain with his right. In the very next shot, the entire frame is reversed. Notice Jabba's face. His nostrils are asymmetrical. Not only now is the goblet in his right hand, his higher placed nostril, normally on the left side of his face, is now on the right.
Wow, something else I haven't noticed before. Why do they sometimes reverse the frame?
It is a method of correcting a continuity or cinematography error when a reshoot of a scene is not otherwise feasible.
That's interesting, and also very distracting if you're paying attention.
Indeed. Please wait while I reheat my breakfast burrito. The cheese is melting in a very satisfying manner. I had already taken a bite, so some of the contents are oozing out onto the plate, like the black refried beans, which are as black as my mother's heart. I imagine this is what Tauntaun sausage mates have tasted like if they made such a thing. There, it is finished. I now wait for the customary cooling period.
Okay. Shall we continue?
Yes, we may proceed with the content of our shared narrative.
Great. Do you have any other examples of frame reversal in the movie? Film?
Yes, this may not be frame reversal in the traditional sense, but it is still an odd continuity error.
Great. Hit us up with it.
After Han Solo tells Lando he can take the Falcon into the final battle, Lando's costume is completely reversed. His brooch, his holster strap, his mustache, all reversed. This does not look to be a reverse image of the shot to correct an error, as the matte painted background behind him is not reversed. So it looks as though someone was intoxicated and dressed him backwards. It is distracting and annoying.
Yes, this mistake I have noticed for a very long time. I was really hoping it would be corrected for the special edition, but sadly it was not.
Say perhaps was simply being pragmatic.
Yeah, maybe. Do you have any positive observations from the special edition changes?
For the special edition, I appreciate they attempted to add blinking to the Ewok's dark eyes, but still not entirely convincing.
Yes, I agree. It's still a bit unnatural looking.
It is horrifying to think the Ewoks were just going to burn Han Solo alive. These creatures have obviously never roasted a pig before.
Yeah, it's hard to believe the Ewoks were actually going to do that, especially with Leia standing right there. Do you have any other observations from the indoor sequences?
When Han Solo is running from the bunker before it explodes, you can see his reflection in the plexiglass in front of him, used to protect the camera from the explosion.
Huh, something else I've never noticed before. Wow, that's interesting.
This is the exact same piece of plexiglass used to protect Harrison Ford from the Cobra snake in Raiders of the Lost Ark 2 years earlier.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Wow, I didn't know that either.
I did not know that.
We're about out of time today, Warren. Do you have any final observations to share on Star Wars Return of the Jedi?
Yes. During the Sarlacc skirmish scene in the desert, pay close attention to Lando hanging from the skiff on the right side of the screen when Luke Skywalker leaps to the other skiff. Lando is not moving. It is an awkwardly embedded still frame due to Billy D. Williams' need of an emergency toilet break. He apparently has a shellfish allergy and had fried calamari and mozzarella sticks for lunch.
Oh, that's not good.
And he allegedly defecated into the Sarlacc Mall.
Eat this!
Wait, what?
It's a trap!
Next time on Life in Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast.
Oh, really? You're cold?
No, 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 no!
Hey, what's your name? 2187. What?
That's not how the works.
Tell that to Kanja Club. I'm gonna call you Is that all right? Yeah. I like that. I like that. I'm Poe. Good to meet you, Poe. Good to meet you too. Good to meet you, Poe. Good to meet you too. Good to meet you, Poe. Good to meet you too.
I like this thing.
I bypassed the compressor.
I need help with this giant hairy thing. That's what she said.